because what most Republicans do is what we would expect them to do, stuff like Charlie Kirk. So in the thumbnail for the video, I put a tweet by Charlie Kirk which said something like, instead of taking today, you should be working today. You shouldn't be taking today off to celebrate a woke CRT inspired holiday that's used to compete with July 4th. I remember him making that a big deal. That, yeah, he said that, Juneteenth is just put in there to weaken the importance of July 4th. Now we have 2 summer holidays, and one is based entirely upon race, and which is absurd for a lot of reasons. Like, listen, a holiday in June is not going to ruin a holiday in July. Plus, look, when it comes to holidays, what's the deal with holidays, folks? When it comes to holidays, there's like 4 big ones, like 4 big holidays that where it actually means something. 4th of July is one of them. Other holidays, there's like minor holidays, like Memorial Day does not compete with
TJ. Let's do a holiday tier list right now.
Holiday rankings,
make some classic YouTube content. What in your mind? What are the core American holidays?
So the biggest holidays are New Year's Day, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Now, I know people want to put Halloween in there, but I'm sorry. Halloween does not rank with those. It is like, it's fun. I love me some Halloween. It's a lot of people's favorite holiday. But when I'm putting in like the actual work people put into the holiday. So New Year's Day, New Year's Day, which is funny, the celebration is New Year's Eve, but a lot goes into that. Like, there's mobilization, there's a whole, like, TV stations are taken over by a countdown in random cities. You see different parts of the world for 24 hours straight. Massive. 4th of July, it's like Memorial Day is like the warm up to 4th of July.
It's like 4th of July light. Like, you do all of the same shit, but it's just bigger on the 4th.
Way bigger. And there's fireworks. Actually, there's fireworks on New Year's Day too. So
there's fireworks on too many holidays now. That is one of my biggest, like, old man yells at clouds. Like, it should be 4th of July and New Year's. That should be the only 2 fireworks days. I don't need fucking fireworks on Memorial Day. Okay, like
it's. I've seen that a few times, and I can't remember. Maybe it was Memorial Day, but I remember it was some holiday recently, and I heard fireworks. I was like, when did we start doing that? I only remember it on New Year's Day and on 4th of July. So, and then you got Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is our bookend holidays. And so that's where the travel comes in, where, Thanksgiving hits and, like massive, you can't go anywhere on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or the Tuesday. The roads are packed, and then you see your family for the first time all year. And I guess Thanksgiving is kind of a warm up to Christmas too, but it's just like you get 2 days off and the travel involved, and then Christmas comes, which is like our closeout of the year holiday, which is like the biggest holiday in human history. So those are my big 4 when it comes to holidays. How about yours?
Yeah, I think it's like top, like the absolute top tier is Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas should have its own one. Yeah,
Christmas is multiple. It's a whole week. Like it's basically a whole month at this point. But like Christmas is the big one, and I think everything is beneath Christmas.
Yeah,
New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, combine them however you want to celebrate. For you, I think that New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving are the family holidays.
Yes,
the holidays that you're spending with your family. New Year's and July 4th are the whatever you want to do holidays. You spend them however you want. And then, second tier there being like Memorial. Halloween is a weird one. I think because the way you just described it, Halloween, if you talk about amount of work put into it, I would argue is more than July 4th. Like, Halloween, you have an entire cottage industry of haunted houses pop up for a month.
Good point.
Because of Halloween, all the horror movies that are made that come out around Halloween, like it's like the physical space you live gets transformed on Halloween, almost if not more than it does for Christmas. Probably not more than Christmas, but like it's there. So I would argue that that's bigger than everything besides Christmas and New Year's in terms of amount of work put in. But it's also not, you don't get off for it. Like, that's the big equalizer. I don't get off for it. That is it. So.
Yes, because you're right. Everything you said is true. I've changed my mind because you're right. People buy the costumes. It doesn't matter how old you are, because it's funny. It used to be like a little kid holiday. Like I feel like when I was little, like, I don't know, then again, I wouldn't know. I was an adult, but the kids dressed up and the adults took them, around trick-or-treating and stuff. But then it became in college, like, oh yeah, you party, everyone puts on costumes, get drunk and everything, and adults love Halloween, but you don't get the day off. That's what the big one is. So it's hard to, because what I was thinking about the work put into it, no one travels for Halloween. Like you have Halloween where you are because you can't travel for it. So yeah, I would put, like Christmas is the S tier holiday. And then you have your A tiers, which are like, New Year's, 4th of July, and Thanksgiving.
I would put Halloween at like the end of the A tier.
Yes, yeah. Halloween is like
it's definitely above anything on the next tier.
Yes, yeah. You can't compare Halloween with Flag Day or St. Patrick's Day, even, or something like it's.
Okay, so what's our next tier? Like real holidays that you actually celebrate, but like aren't important.
Yeah, so like I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but I know a lot of people do. But
I celebrate the fuck out of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I would say that is definitely not the next tier down. Like for me personally, it is.
Oh yeah.
In general, it isn't.
Okay, next tier down would be your Memorial Days, your Labor Days, Veterans Day. I think like those are the ones like you get off, like January. Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In February, President's Day. Well, a lot in this tier here, like your mid-tier holidays.
I would actually say we're going in a good, decent order here. It's like Memorial Day is obviously number one in this, and then it's kind of like Labor, MLK, Veterans Day, all kind of the same thing. Like
yeah.
Like they're all like, hey, we're pretending to be serious about this one particular thing, but really we're just fucking around on a day off. Like,
it is, yeah.
There's no big party over it. We're not having like maybe there's a yard party or something, but no, you're just on your day off. This is a day to do laundry.
This is something too with so like with Memorial Day, it's supposed to be to honor fallen veterans, and I guess people do that. Like I was talking to actually Heather. I remember her mentioning something about this where her family goes to like the graves of like her veteran family members, and like that's something like, so yeah. I don't know a lot of people who do that, but that's a good use for a good exercise for Memorial Day right there. Most people just barbecue if they do anything, and it's become the barbecue holiday. And I was thinking about this with Juneteenth because Juneteenth is such a new holiday that there are no traditions attached to it whatsoever.
TJ, I was going to ask you, like, is there any traditions around Juneteenth that we? Like, I felt all day like, okay, I'm off. What do I do? I guess I'll go to the pool. Like, I don't know what to do.
And so maybe there are, and I'm just not aware of it, but they're certainly not nationwide. It's not like, oh, it's Halloween, I put on a costume, and everyone in the country knows that. Everyone in the world or the Western world does that. Juneteenth, there isn't anything. And so, like, the obvious answer would be like barbecue, but it's already taken by Memorial Day and 4th of July.
Barbecue holiday.
Yeah, it can't be a barbecue holiday. So I don't know what the Juneteenth. And then 100 years from now they'll have some, but we're in the pioneer days of Juneteenth. Like, so yeah, maybe our grandchildren, like, yeah, obviously it's the Juneteenth, crab boil or fish fry or whatever.
That's what I was thinking, like something like that's like, because it seems like a distinctly Southern holiday. So like we drink sweet tea, we do like barbecue, like not like
can't be a barbecue.
Well, okay, not like a barbecue. I'm saying barbecue, like we eat ribs or we like Southern food, like shrimp gumbo.
John, got it. I got it.
Okay,
you just call it a cookout. That's what we just that solves the problem. It's not a barbecue, it's a cookout.
It's a cookout. There you go.
It's all done.
That works on so many levels.
Yeah. So that would like I guess this is the B tier. The B tier is pretty heavy. B tier, some pretty heavy holidays in there. But I don't know about you, my qualification for B tier, you need to get the day off. That's why St. Patrick's Day is not here.
So TJ, so Taco Tuesday called us out here because we forgot a relatively important one because of our.
Oh no, I didn't forget. Yeah,
no, we didn't forget Easter. I feel like so. I'm glad you agree. Easter is not on the next tier.
No, it's not. And
because why?
You don't get the day off. You don't get the day off. And so, like, so in the army, in the military in general, actually, they have these things called training holidays, which is really cool. That so most holidays, actually nothing holidays. This is a holiday broadcast today, folks. I like holidays that are assigned like Thanksgiving, for example. It's always the third Thursday in November, or Memorial Day. It's always better. Like so much because like
besides
Juneteenth
Christmas is so much better.
Yeah, Christmas
and obviously
is fine, but
New Year's.
Yeah, Christmas and New Year's are fine because, like you said, the last 2 weeks of the year ain't shit getting done anyway. Like the country shuts down like at December 16th till like January 4th. No one's doing anything. It doesn't matter. But like for every other holiday where it falls on a random date, it's weird. Like Juneteenth is on a Wednesday. This fucking sucks. Like now I got to go back to work on Thursday and Friday. And no, I don't want that. Give me like Martin Luther King Day, always on a Monday. Memorial Day, always on a Monday. That's perfect. So in the Army, what they would do is if you had a holiday, like say it's Martin Luther King Day, it's on a Monday. Not only did you get that Monday off, you got the previous Friday off. So it was always a 4-day weekend for holidays. The only time it wasn't is if it fell on a Wednesday. So that kind of sucked. But I do enjoy that. Now, interestingly enough, I remember my first year in the Army, and we had a special formation on like the Thursday before Easter because we got Good Friday off. And that wasn't like, we didn't have to. The commander's like, okay, we're going to give you Good Friday off, which is cool. Like that's the only times I've seen people get the day off for Easter where they get Good Friday off, but that's pretty rare. That's not a common thing. Like Good Friday is not a holiday on the calendar. So no, Easter's not making the cut because you don't get the day off. I agree.
Exactly. And that's, they put it on a dumb fucking religious people put it on a Sunday. Like if you would have put it on a Monday, we would have had a federal fucking holiday, but we
Yes, I can't agree more. It's like, dropping the ball on this, on putting Easter on it. Look, I get Jesus rose on Sunday. Fine. Celebrate it on Monday. He didn't say you
met the apostles the next day.
That's such a golden opportunity there. But yeah, I agree. So that was our B tier. You have to get the day off. Then you have your C tier holidays, which are big deals, but you ain't getting off. And that's going to be Easter, St. Patrick's Day. We forgot Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. That would be in the B tier as well because you get the day off for that.
Yeah. It has to decide which holiday it is before I even rank it. Like
I know.
It's like you got to make a choice, bro. We cannot have this double holiday on the same day. It is so dumb, and it should be Indigenous Peoples Day.
It's an obvious one. It's an obvious one, man.
Columbus never set foot in America. Why are we celebrating? For like of all the reasons to not celebrate Christopher Columbus, there are way worse, like way better ones. But just from a pure, just like, hey, let's be honest here. The dude never was in our country. Why are we celebrating him?
Yeah.
It's like we had fucking like Leonardo da Vinci Day. Like, okay, cool. He's a cool guy, but why are we celebrating his American holiday?
Yeah, that's an easy one. The Indigenous Peoples Day over Columbus Day. That's it. So if we ever get the naming convention right for this day, then it'll graduate to the B tier. But it's stuck along.
A lot of people don't get off. Like right now, it's on the same tier as like Juneteenth. I feel like it's one of those holidays where it's like some people are off, some people aren't off. You don't really feel like you're off because depending on how you work, but like for me, it's like my clients aren't off. I am, and so I still am kind of just like in work brain mode because I know it's not like Memorial Day where it's like everyone's off.
Yes,
we're all gonna have a barbecue. It's like it doesn't really count. It's more like a fucking St. Patrick's Day in my mind. You might as well not be off. I don't know. But, yeah,
I don't like that. With holidays too. So putting a pin in this real quick with holidays. I'm going to go off to a holiday that doesn't exist, but has been proposed. And that's a lot of people want to make Election Day a federal holiday.
100%.
So I see, here's what this, all right, I'm glad you said this because this is where I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think that there's better ways to solve this problem because like what you mentioned, just because something is a federal holiday doesn't mean you're going to get the day off. There are like no one working at grocery stores or gas stations or like, things that need to happen are going to get the day off. A lot of people aren't going to. Like the federal government making Juneteenth a holiday, plenty of people are still working today. And so I always said that we need to just change how we view elections in general. Like the fact that we have Election Day in the middle of a cold weather month during the work week is absurd. That is fucking, and every time I bring it to like, well, I don't give a shit why the founders did it in 1770s. I don't care. Like we don't live like they did.
Also use leeches to cure like the
right. Yeah.
Cold, so
Yeah. People aren't traveling 2 days to do the elections now. We can have our elections on a Saturday in June. There's no reason we can't do that. Like none whatsoever. Hell, Saturday and Sunday. You get 2 days to come out and vote. And it's a warm weather month. The weather's like
it is weird that we have to do it in one day. I've never really understood that.
No, it is. It doesn't. Like,
election weekend. Boom.
Yeah,
and I understand not being like a week would be too long.
I don't want to be too long. Yeah,
unless you're not reporting the results. Like that's the thing is that like it could influence the election if it's too long. In the same way that like the primaries being split up influences the election, but like a weekend, come on, like
2 days, and most people already have the weekend off, and you can just go vote and not be caught in a snowstorm on your way. It's just like it's absurd.
And
so
with 2 days, it's easier to just be like, oh, I can take an hour, 2 hour, whatever out of these 2 days on the weekend. You're probably not working 8 hours each day on the weekend,
right?
Unless it really sucks for you, I guess. But
the majority of people won't be working already. Yeah. So
I also want to say, so narrator brought up, he said Juneteenth traditions come from Texas, where it started includes eating foods like red beans and rice and strawberry soda.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm sorry, but that's never gonna work. like that's not gonna catch. That's like a fucking like Jewish holiday where they're just like, we're gonna do some really shitty things that no one likes to do, and it's like we're gonna eat unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread.
Bitter I can't wait for this holiday.
Yeah,
no, I'm not eating beans.
Well, red beans and rice is pretty popular. I think people could get onto that. People like that. But strawberry soda,
like that's just like okay. I'm either like trying to just be healthy or save money on food. No one goes like, you know what I really want tonight? Red beans and rice. Maybe I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, John, it's not. It's pretty good. Like the red beans and rice. Yeah, it's like
no, don't tell me it's good. Like I have red beans and rice again because I'm cheap or trying to be healthy.
Oh,
but I do it against my will, TJ. Like I never willingly do that.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the seasoning and stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you can make it taste pretty good. But the strawberry soda.
I bet you John's using seasoning. That must be his problem.
I bet. Listen, like, I don't know. A lot of people like it. But anyway, the strawberry soda actually is like a lot of people. Finding strawberry soda, and plus, I don't like strawberry soda. I think it's gross. I think strawberry soda, like, and
we call it pop. I can see something like we call it pop. You know, we don't call it soda, we call it pop on Juneteenth. Like it's what you do. Like things like that are southerny, those could stick.
Southerners don't call it pop.
Do they not call it? I thought they called it pop.
No, it's Midwesterners call it pop. Yeah, Southerners call it Coke.
It's called Coke, yeah.
Or maybe soda. Kind of like, Kleenexes aren't always Kleenexes, but Southerners call it like Coke. But yeah, pop is more of a Midwestern thing. But okay, wait, we got to finish off this tier. So we got like the ones we get the day off. And then your St. Patty's days, your Columbus days,
Cinco de Mayo. A lot of your like you can choose this
Cinco de Mayo
holidays. Like that's really
Flag Day.
Flag. That's bottom. That is like F tier. Flag Day. It seems like a joke. It seems like something you would make in a satire of America. Flag Day.
It does. It does seem like a joke. In fact, I remember someone texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you think it's Flag?" I said, "Man, I forgot it was Flag Day. I forgot it was Flag Day." But you're right. It's kind of a joke holiday. The Flag Day. I'm not sure why the holiday exists. I have an idea because the first branch of the military was the National Guard, and that was founded June 14th, 1775. That can't be a coincidence. Like, that's got to be why we have Flag Day, because we founded the National Guard that day. Who cares? Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit,
It's funny you're saying, I didn't even realize it was June 14th. I like, that was just recently. I didn't even realize it was Flag Day.
Who cares? No one brings it up. Yeah, so,
Go ahead.
Below that tier are holidays that, like, people know about Flag Day and St. Patty's Day. I guess those don't belong. Yeah, Flag Day's below that one. But the Flag Day, then there's holidays that people forget, like Arbor Day or Earth Day or something. Oh, wait. Where would we put Mother's Day and Father's Day? I feel like that belongs higher than Earth Day. Like, that's something
I think they belong on the Easter tier.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you don't get off for them, but there are important family things that can be done on those days. Father's Day, at least, is kind of also just a Memorial Day light in my mind. It is to Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is to 4th of July. You're probably drinking beers and playing yard games and barbecuing. That's probably the thing you do on a Father's Day, or like do other like dad shit. But like Mother's Day, I don't know. That's like I don't think there's like a universal Mother's Day vibe. It just kind of depends on your mom.
I feel like Mother's Day should be in a higher tier than Father's Day, because like Mother's Day, people take really seriously. It's like, oh, you got to get something good for mom. You got to take mom out to eat. You got to treat mom nice. And moms care. Dads don't really care about Father's Day. In my experience, dads don't really care all that much. They're like, oh, yeah, sure. Get me whatever you want or something. So I feel like Mother's Day is in a higher tier.
So I agree with you, but have the inverse reaction, like the inverse conclusion, because I'm like, I much prefer Father's Day because my dad doesn't care. We're just gonna chill.
Well,
and, like,
yeah.
have a good time. Yeah. Whereas like Mother's Day, I feel this pressure to like do a good thing, you know.
Oh, we forgot Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. That's so big. I think it goes up with the day off holidays, like because that one.
Oh,
matters.
I disagree with you. I think it belongs at the top of the St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, Columbus Day tier, where it's like, or
I disagree.
Stay ahead of them. I don't know. I
disagree because there's no risk really into fucking up Cinco de Mayo. There's no risk really. I guess you could get DUI on St. Patty's Day, but Valentine's Day, you got to get that one right. Like Valentine's Day has some weight to it, and so you know you got to make the reservation. You got to buy the gift, and so just like we're talking pressure, I think that elevates Valentine's Day up.
You're right, but it's only important to one segment of the population.
Oh, good, fair point. If you're not in a relationship, yeah, it's
it doesn't matter to you.
It doesn't matter to you. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, but no. Well, it's the day's important, but you're like, oh yes, it's Valentine's Day, huh? What are you doing? Nothing, you fucking loser.
Yeah, I mean, it is a thing. Like it does have, like you know it's Valentine's Day.
Yes, you know, you're very
100%. You're seeing posts about Valentine's Day. Like it is an important holiday.
It is the one day of the year you sure as hell are not going to go to a restaurant and eat by yourself. You're not doing that on Valentine's Day. It's not going to happen. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to bump Valentine's Day up like that. And then, we have so many comments here. Let's go. Narrator says, maybe, just maybe, the fact that 4th of July didn't mean freedom for the entire population lessens 4th of July. Historical fact, lessons 4th of July. Juneteenth is a reminder of historical fact. But yeah, so this is something that I think Charlie Kirk, and I mentioned that he said that we got a race-based holiday with Juneteenth. If that's the case, July 4th was like a race and sex-based holiday where the freedom went to, you know, land-owning white males. So like Juneteenth is way more of
that is such a classic, like white people don't like just see white as generic and not a race and everything else as a race. It's like you only think it's a race-based holiday because you're like the only way you can view it that way is if you don't view July 4th as a race-based holiday, is that you just think that's default. Like if America was free, well, the white people were free, so that's all that fucking matters. So it's not racial. Like that's the only reason that makes any sense. And I also like that they celebrate it on the last day that everyone was free. I think that is a really touching fact where it's like we don't celebrate till everyone's free, and I think that's really cool.
I agree with that as well. G Money says, my favorite millennials. What's up? How's it going, man? And I'm just thinking, John, what year were you born?
Oh, I'm right. I'm between.
You got to be close. You got to be close.
I'm 96.
96, I think, is the cutoff for millennials.
It's right on the cusp, and I think that I definitely lean more toward millennial than Gen Z, but I definitely have some Gen Z tendencies.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that I
remember 9/11, so like that's like the thing, but I vaguely remember 9/11.
Well, I was thinking when you mentioned that we bookend millennials based because the millennials was like 81 through 96, and I was born in 82, and so we're perfect representations here.